Hi, good morning. Welcome to your weekly yoga practice. Let's begin in a comfortable seated position. I am sitting cross-legged on a block, but if it's comfortable for you to sit on your heels, you're welcome to do that. If you want to sit on a rolled up blanket or a bolster, that's a fine idea as well. Or if you don't want to use a prop and just sit, as long as you can be comfortable for the first few moments of our practice in this position, any option is fine. Please remember to modify your practice as it makes sense today. Challenge yourself where you can, back off if you need, take breaks. Feel free to yell out to me, or if you want to use the chat option, I will be checking in there as well. Bring your hands to your knees. You can turn the palms face down or turn the palms face up, whatever is comfortable for you here. Sitting nice and tall, closing the eyes. Softening the space between the eyebrows. Just taking a moment as we settle into our seat to briefly observe the sounds around you. Right, without any labels or judgments, without acknowledging what's good or bad, or just simply observing. Bringing your attention now a little bit closer to what's happening on the mat. Letting go of all those things happening off the mat. Just observing the weight of your seat on the mat, your hands resting on the legs. Observing the air moving in and out through the body. And keeping the breath moving in and out through the nose as best you can. Start to lengthen the breath each time you inhale, each time you exhale. Just letting the breath move nice and easy. Keeping the shoulders dropping away from the ears. Thinking about letting the belly expand with the breath, letting the breath get into the diaphragm. And keeping the breath moving throughout the practice. Let's give ourselves 3 more deep breaths right here. Begin slowly opening the eyes. And coming off of your prop, if you're sitting on one, just move it to the side. Let's come on to hands and knees. Extending your right leg back on the mat. With the toes tucked into the mat, your right heel, just gently press it away enough so that you can feel the back of the right leg wake up. Start lifting the right leg up off the mat. Keep the hips level, maybe keeping your right toes pointing to the mat, which helps to Level the hips, draw the belly up and in so we're not putting any undue stress on the lower back here. Reach the left arm forward with your thumb pointing up toward the sky. Take a deep breath in, maybe lift the left arm, the right leg half an inch higher. Then as you exhale, bring the knee to the elbow, round it in, nice and slow. Inhaling, reaching out, lifting half an inch higher. Exhaling, bring it in. Inhaling, reach. Exhaling, round, 2 more breaths. Inhaling, exhaling. 1 more. Good. Inhaling, reaching out. You can either hold it here with your gaze past the left hand. If you want to add on, the option is, right, bending at the right knee, reach the left hand back and grab onto the right foot. Kick into the left hand. So you start to wake up the right leg. Keep the tailbone lengthening away from you. Maybe flex the right foot so you feel your right toes curl, maybe waking up the right quadricep a little bit more. Take 1 more breath. Returning to your hands and knees. Let's go the other way. Left leg, reach it back with the toes tucked into the mat. Gently press the left heel away. Just waking up the leg, getting everything moving. Start lifting your left leg off the mat. Keep the hips level, left toes point to the mat. Draw the belly up and in. Finding length, breathe. Right arm reaching forward, right thumb pointing up. Lifting half an inch higher through the left leg, right arm. Then exhale, bring it in round. Good. Inhaling, reach 4 more times. Exhaling, round. Inhaling, exhaling. Inhale, exhale. Good. 1 more time. Good. Reaching out as you inhale, either staying here, hold for the balance, or bending at the left knee, take the right hand, reach it back to the left foot. Whoops, kick into the right hand. See, a little bit of balance definitely at play here. Kick into the right hand so the right shoulder opens up. Get a little bit of a back bend here. Curl the left toes, flexing the left foot so your left quadricep wakes up. Take 1 more breath. Let's return again to hands and knees. Start tucking the toes. Come into downward facing dog. Lift the hips up and back. Good. Then start lifting up the right leg. Put a bend in the right knee so the hip rolls open, head down, maybe peek under the left arm. Make circles with the right foot, rolling at the ankle joint, maybe pointing, flexing. Good. So we're, with the weather being so crazy hot right now, we're gonna give ourselves a nice stretch, develop a little bit of heat, but without overdoing it today, right? This time of year, you really gotta read the room, so to speak, right? Just kind of follow the cues from weather, the time of year. Start to drop the right hip a little bit, pull the knee to the nose, curl it in. Big inhale, lift the right leg up. On your exhale, step to low lunge, bring your foot through the hands, lower the back knee on the mat. Feel free if you want to grab blocks here, completely up to you. As you straighten the right leg, curl the right toes, shift the hips back. Let's take another deep breath here. We're going to move with the breath on the inhale, bending the right knee, hips sink in, chest up. Make sure the right heel stays on the mat. Exhaling, straighten out. Big inhale, bending the right knee, chest up. Exhale, Straighten. One more like that. Big inhale. Exhaling. Good. Inhaling, bending up at the right knee. As you exhale, bring it back to down dog, hips up and back. Let's switch the sides. Lift the left leg, put a bend in the knee so the hip rolls open, head down, peek under the right arm. This is to help stabilize the shoulders. Making circles with the left foot, rolling at the ankle joint or pointing, flexing. Start to drop the left hip a bit. Bring the knee to the nose, round it in. Inhale the left leg up. Exhale to low lunge, foot through the hands, lower the back knee. Maybe use blocks, and of course if you don't need to use them, that's okay. And if you don't have them, just, either do the best you can with your fingertips down, or if you want to use something that might work as props, right? Bolsters, even books would work as blocks. Start to straighten the left leg, Ardha Hanuman, half split, one breath. Then inhaling, bending the left knee, chest up. Exhaling, straight. Inhaling 2 more times. Exhaling. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Inhaling, bending up at the left knee. Let's step forward to the front of the mat, fold over the legs. Keeping your feet about hip width distance apart. Interlace all 10 fingers behind the back. Let the arms reach up toward the sky. Soften the knees or put a bend in the knees if that feels good. Keep the breath moving. Let's take one more deep breath. Relax the arms toward the mat. Keep a soft bend in the knees while you slowly roll up to stand. All right, press down, uncurl, chest up, shoulders back, palms slightly forward. Press through the legs. Big inhale, sweep the arms around and up. Exhale, dive over the legs. Let's lift the chest, inhale. Exhaling, step the left leg back in a low lunge. You can lower the back knee to modify or keep it lifted. Pick up the right arm, take a twist. Make sure the right foot, the right knee point forward. Right? Maybe even take your right hand to your lower back. Right? See if the hips are level. If you find your left hip sinking down, try to lift the left hip a little bit, right? Then return your right arm up toward the sky. Lowering the right hand, down dog, step the right foot back. And either holding onto your down dog or inhale to plank. Exhale, lower the knees, chest and chin. Uncurl the toes, inhale to Bhujangasana, cobra pose. Bring it back to down dog or take child's pose. Let's give it a breath or two here. One more time. And putting a little bend in the knees, look forward through the hands, walk or lightly hop the feet to the front. Folding over the legs, feet slightly separated, roll up slowly to stand. Press down, uncurl, chest up, shoulders back, Tadasana. Big inhale, the arms sweep around and up, overhead, look up. Exhale, dive over the legs, Uttanasana. Lifting up the chest, lengthen the spine. Stepping the right leg back in low lunge. Feel free to drop the back knee or keep it lifted. Take your twist, pick up the left arm. Looking past the fingertips if you can, and maybe take the left hand to your lower back. See where the hips are at. Can you lift the right leg right hip a little higher to level things out? Then pick up the left arm. One more deep breath. Lower the left hand, down dog, step it back. You can hold your down dog or flow through, maybe chaturanga, maybe lower the knees. Inhale to your back bend, bringing it back to down dog or child's pose. And from your downward facing dog, little bend in the knees, look forward. Step or hop the feet up to the front of the mat. Chest up on the inhale. Exhale, round it down. Keep the feet right where they are, slightly separated. Let's do a modified chair pose today. Put a bend in the knees with your fingertips reaching toward the mat. Just sit back a little bit, right? So your knees almost line up right over your ankles, right over your heels. Then keep the tailbone lengthening back, slightly lengthening toward the mat. Pick up the arms. Soften the shoulders out of the ears. Let's take one more deep breath in. As you exhale, dive over the legs. Send the left leg back in a low lunge. Put a little bend in the back knee, look forward. Keep your arms just hanging heavy toward the mat. Try a soft bend in the back knee, look forward for balance. Press through the legs, find your foundation. Start to lead through the crown of the head as you come up. Right? Chest up, your shoulders now line up over the hips. Pick up the arms, high lunge. Yeah, so nice easy movement here. Let's take one more deep breath. Open up for warrior two. Drop the back heel on the mat. Start to straighten the front leg, come into triangle pose, Trikonasana, turn the arms. Right hand lowers, left arm high. Block under the bottom hand if you need. Keep a soft bend in the front knee. We want to make sure we're not locking the knees. Shift your gaze past the left hand. Take one more deep breath. Good. Low lunge, bend the front knee, lower your hands, turn on the back toes, down dog, step the right leg back. Good, you can hold your down dog. Again, if you want to flow through, you can to plank, chaturanga, up dog, meeting back in down dog. Big inhale, let's lift the right leg. Step to low lunge, bring your foot through the hands. Step all the way forward to the front, fold over the legs. Again with your feet looking like railroad tracks, slightly separated. Fingertips reaching toward the mat, bend the knees, sit the hips back, and lift the arms up. Let the spine lengthen, take one more big inhale. Exhaling, dive over the legs. Right leg back, low lunge. Soften the back knee, look forward. Fingertips still reaching toward the mat. Press through the legs, find your foundation, chest up. Leading up through the crown of the head, find your high lunge with the arms overhead. Let's come to warrior two, arms out to the side. Back heel spins flat, arms nice and strong, but drop the shoulders out of the ears. Straightening out the front leg, Trikonasana triangle, turn the arms, lower the left hand, lift the right. Deep breaths. Let the toes rest nice and easy. Return to low lunge, bend the left knee, lower the hands. Down dog, step the left foot back. You're either holding or flowing through. Good, let's give it another deep breath or two. On your next inhale, lift up the left leg. Step to low lunge, bring your foot through the hands. Step all the way forward to the front, fold over the legs. Rounding down, feet slightly separated. This time we're rolling up slowly to stand. Press down as you uncurl. All the way up. Tadasana, mountain pose. Let's do a little tree pose, Vrikshasana. You can bring your hands to the waist or bring palms together at the heart. Shifting your weight first to the left leg, turn the right toes out. You can keep the right foot down for a little bit more stability, or when you're ready, step the foot inside the left leg, below the knee or above the knee. Be sure to avoid pressing your foot directly against the side of the knee. Right, chest up. Everyone palms together at the heart, drop the shoulders down, looking at one point past the end of the nose. That's your focal point. Press down, inhale the arms up. Separate the hands. Deep breaths. Good, one more breath. Returning palms together again at the heart center, lower the right foot down. Switch sides, shift the weight, left toes turn out to the side. Strong standing leg, either keep the left foot down like that, or step the foot in, above or below the knee. Press the leg against the foot against the leg, tailbone down, chest up, palms to prayer at the heart. Press down as you inhale, lift the arms, separate the hands, reaching up, keep the shoulders moving out of the ears. One more breath. Maybe not. And palms together again at the heart. Return your left foot to the mat. Let the arms drop by your side. Shake it off a little bit. With your feet about hip width distance apart, press down, inhale, sweep the arms overhead. Look up. Exhale, dive over the legs. Grab onto your big toes in yogi toe lock, first two fingers of each hand. Let's lift the chest on the inhale, lengthen. Exhale, round it down. All right, belly to your thighs. Forehead toward the shins, crown of the head to the mat. If you're modifying here, just take your hands to opposite elbows. Let's give it another deep breath. On your next inhale, start lifting the chest. Exhaling, releasing out the toes. Padahastasana, hand to foot pose. Lift the fronts of the feet, slide the hands under. On the exhale, drop the toes down, head down. Continue lengthening over the legs. Keep the sit bones high. If you're holding on to opposite elbows, just switch the grip so the opposite hand is on top. Let's give it another deep breath or two. On your inhale, start lifting the chest. Exhaling, releasing out the hands from the feet. Stepping both legs back into plank pose. Let's do a little side plank. Start with the right knee lowering on the mat. Spin the left heel down, lift the left arm. So this is a modified variation, right? Again, nice and easy stretch. If you want to go for it, you're absolutely welcome to straighten both legs, stacking the left leg on top, right? Absolutely fine. But just in an effort to generate some and not all the heat, right? Modification sometimes worth it. One more breath. Lower the top arm, return to center plank. Let's go the other way. Drop the left knee. Spin the right heel flat. Sweep the right arm over. Right, finding length, nice deep breath. Still managing some balance here. And of course, if you want to go for it, you can straighten both legs, stacking the right on top of the left. Lower the right hand down. Return to plank pose. Let's go back to downward facing dog. On your inhale, lift the right leg up. Step to low lunge, bring your foot through the hands. Take both hands inside the right foot. Coming into our wide-legged forward fold, Prasarita Padottanasana. Walk your hands over to the left. Bring the right toes in, right? So your feet are more or less parallel here. As you fold over the legs, if the knees need to bend, let them bend. If you want to go for it, you can grab onto your toes, right? Or hands to your lower legs, whatever variation suits you today. Let's give it another deep breath. Good. Then start to lift up the chest, lengthen the spine, walk the hands out just a little bit so your hands fall right under your shoulders. Keeping the hips nice and level. If you want to put blocks under your hands, you can. Start with your left hand down and pick up the right arm toward the front of the mat, right? So the right arm lifts up, right? Gazing to the right, maybe peek up at your right fingertips. Take one more big inhale. On the exhale, lower the top arm. Let's go the other way. Left arm up. Press down, lift. Shift your gaze left, maybe peek up at your left fingertips. One more breath. Lower the top arm, come back to center, chest up. Let's come into low lunge at the front of the mat. Pivot the toes, walk the hands around. Turn your back heel down at a 45-degree angle, similar to what you would in Warrior One, and make sure that your right foot is at least an inch or so over to the right side, so that if you look at your right heel and draw like an imaginary line, it does not touch your back foot. If you want to grab blocks here, feel free as you start straightening the front leg, right leg, round it down. And if you don't need blocks, that's okay. If the front leg doesn't want to straighten, keep a little bend in the knee. That's okay. Right? Good. Just try to keep the hips level without forcing anything. Give it one more deep breath. And start to lift up the chest. Let's bend at the right knee, returning to low lunge with the back toes tucked into the mat. Let's transition into pigeon pose. Drop the palms flat. Pick up the right leg with the knee bending. Slide it behind the right wrist. Left leg back, left toes pointing back. Use props if you need under the right hip or thigh. And if you're good here, you can walk the hands out. Forehead down, using any props if you choose under your forehead. If this is not good, you're going to modify on your back. Right? Do the reverse figure 4, right ankle above the left knee and hug it in. Let's give ourselves another deep breath. Start to walk the hands back in. Lift the head, the chest, removing any props you might have under the right leg. Just roll to the right side. Bring the left leg around, coming into Janu Shirshasana. So your right leg presses against the inner left thigh, your right foot. Without squaring off entirely to the front of the mat, let your left leg soften out a little bit toward the side while still keeping contact with your right foot and your left leg. Sit tall, inhale, lift the arms, then exhale, extend over the left leg. Use a strap or belt if you need. You can always put a little bend in the front leg if you need to soften the hamstrings a little bit. Let's give it one more deep breath. On your inhale, start lifting the chest. Exhaling, releasing the leg. Let's bend up at both knees. Come forward, crossing at the ankles. Hands and knees, down dog. Stepping both feet back. We'll switch the sides. Big inhale, lift up the left leg. Step to low lunge, bring your foot through the hands. Take the left hand inside the left foot, wide-legged forward fold, Prasarita. Walk your hands to the right, pivot the toes so that both feet are just about parallel, fold over the legs. And if you want to grab toes, hold on to the lower legs, or maybe even interlace fingers behind the back. For a little shoulder opener, feel free. Let's give it another deep breath or two. Returning your hands toward the mat, start to lift the chest. Do another little twist here. This time, walk your hands over to your left leg. Taking your left hand to the outside of the leg, bring your torso to the leg. Start to lift your left arm up. Let's take one more breath. Lower both hands to the mat. Go the other way to the right leg. Take your left hand to the outside of the right leg. Your torso lengthens over the right leg. Pick up the right arm. Looking to the right side if you can. Take one more breath. Lowering both hands toward the mat, lift the chest. Let's come into a low lunge, front of the mat. Pivot the toes, walk the hands around. Turn the back heel at a 45-degree angle. Your left foot, make sure it's stepped at least an inch or so to the left side so the heel of your left foot does not bisect your back foot. Straightening the left leg, rounding down, Parsvottanasana. Use blocks if you need under the hands. Bending up at the left knee if that makes sense for you to do today. Keep the breath flowing. One more full breath. Return to low lunge, bending up at the left knee, turn on the back toes, palms flat, pigeon pose, pick up the left leg, keep the left knee bending. Right leg back, sit tall, hips level, use props if you need, and if you're good, then walk the hands out. Forehead down. And if this is not good, turn around, lay down on your back. Do the reverse figure 4, left ankle above the right knee. It is okay to modify. Keep the breath moving. Let's take one more deep breath. Releasing out, slide the hands in, lift the head, the chest. Removing any props that might be under the left leg, roll to the left side, bring the right leg around. Janu Shirshasana. Your left foot, press it against the inner right thigh. You don't have to go super squared off to the front of the mat. You can let the right leg soften out a little bit to the side, just making sure you still have contact with your left foot and the right leg. Sit tall, inhale with the arms, and exhale, extend over the right leg, grab the foot, use a belt or strap if you need. Good. Let's give it another deep breath. On your inhale, start lifting the chest. Exhaling, releasing out the foot. Let's bend up at both knees. Bring the feet together. Then drop the knees out so that the soles of the feet touch together. But not in our traditional Baddha Konasana where the heels are all the way in. Slide the heels out a little bit. We're going to make this a little bit easier, right? A less intense stretch. So the soles of the feet touch together. Take your hands, slide them under the outsides of the legs. Let your hands wrap around the tops of the feet. You can always wiggle the feet out a little bit further out if you like. Let the crown of the head just kind of down as you round over the legs. Soften the shoulders. Just try to soften into the shape. Keep the breath moving. And start to soften the hands out. Come up. Good. Bring the knees back together. Let's roll onto the back. Hug the knees in toward the chest when you get there. Maybe grab a happy baby pose. Good. Then keeping both legs lifting, bending up at the knees, let the arms drop out toward the sides, right? And slide the knees back a little bit so your lower back lengthens on the mat. Keeping the knees glued together, let's gently drop the knees, nice and slow. Drop the knees to the right. Keeping both shoulders on the mat as best you can. Shift your gaze to the left. One more breath. Good. Then keep the knees glued together. Come back to center. Go the other way. All right. Drop the knees nice and slow. Over to the left. Shoulders on the mat. Look to the right. Good. Returning back to center. Feet on the mat, yogi's choice. Before we settle into a brief shavasana today, If you want to do a modified shoulder stand, lifting your legs up, keep the knees, the feet glued together. You can always bend the knees if that needs to happen, right? But make sure the legs are glued together. Either here, if you have a block, a prop of some kind for the lower back, you can slide that under the sacrum, finding a comfortable spot, then lifting the legs up, right? Either option is fine. Let's take 3 to 5 deep breaths. And slowly bending up at the knees, return both feet to the mat, removing any props that might be underneath, and either taking regular fish pose with the legs straight, chest up, head back, or using a prop, again if you have one, block or rolled up blanket between the shoulder blades, right? Slowly, mindfully roll back, right? Let the head drop back. Also a nice way, we're getting the back bend, but we're cooling the body. All right, so our practice today was a lot of front openers, right, to cool, as well as forward folds, which help to keep the heart rate down, but yet still generating a little bit of heat and warming up. Let's give it another deep breath or two here. Releasing out. If you're on a prop, you're going to roll to the side. Return onto your back, bring the knees in, rock a little side to side if you need to. Then extending your legs out on the mat, coming into your Shavasana, all right, your final relaxation. Let the feet separate a little bit. Let the toes drop out toward the sides. Turn the palms face up toward the sky with the eyes closed. Let go of the breath, just coming back to soft inhales, soft exhales. Begin lengthening the breath. Gradually returning awareness to the body as you wiggle fingers and toes. Maybe gently roll the head side to side. Reaching the arms overhead, enjoy a nice waking stretch. Pull the knees in toward the chest one more time. Rolling slowly over to the right. Keeping the eyes closed a little while longer. Return back up to a comfortable seated position on the mat. Bringing palms together at the heart. Relax your chin to your chest. Always taking an opportunity as you once again reconnect to the breath. Revisit your intention. And always take the time to honor your efforts and honor your practice this morning. Namaste.